So hello TIs all over the world. May you all have a happy and prosperous new year and bring an ending and a major worldwide investigation into what the targeting programme also consists of. Now I know for a fact, me, my mother and brother, the UK government and the local council authorities in the medical industry, NHS England, healthcare, social services and mental health, and whoever's helping them on surveillance and monitoring abuse, which also leads to radiating and capturing our bodies 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, for as long as it's been going on for since 2004. And we've got a big database of all our changes as we age, from our eyes, facial expressions, tone of our voices, conversations, everyday sociology and human behavioural studies in all our activities at home, in public, in the works area. For me, when I'm driving, I've been in various different premises. I've lived in 3, if you say my mother's as well, when I visit her and stayed over Christmas and the New Year. And due to them not talking to me and talking about my mother, it's obvious they're trying to detain her and put her into an addict care home. So I want a major investigation from the UK government and from the Coventry Council establishment hierarchy in the NHS Board of Directors, Healthcare Board of Directors, Social Services Board of Directors, and the police forces, West Midlands Police Force, Head Office, Lloyd House. Right, well, what it is, for a lot of TIs don't know it, they've put us into clinical close-up research studies, comparisons, trials, and making models, compulsively lying in what label they are trying to label us as to your country's researching industry and to the worldwide researching industry that they are going to network us to, write papers, do research models on us and submit it so that their organisations and their manpower can get funding, can get grants and enhance their careers at the expense of targeted individuals and their family members that they are trying to stitch and frame and social engineer the radiating and aging, all the technologies they're using around us, which is radio frequency, sonar, radar, thermology, infrasound, ultrasound, X-raying, rather with neuroscience, brain-computer interfacing, and mapping out, working out all our brain patterns, neurons, and trying to master it all so that they can do all the psychology at the same time. And if you're foreign, they can use an interpreter, translator, or use some software to do the psychological operations, the brain manipulation in the native language of a target, foreign target they are abusing. For instance, my mother. So when we went to Africa, I know there was a surveillance team were out there, illegal researchers, non-consensual researchers, capturing everything we do. Eating, sleeping, diet habits, what time we eat, what time we go to sleep, which is all linked to clinical close-up trials, research studies. All illegal because we never consented to be put into these illegal, non-consensual, inhumane human behavioural modification programming, because that's what we're doing with the psychological operations. And so with the neuroscience for brain manipulation, they have tried to break down my mother, put in a block, the way of fracturing, depatterning, heterodyning, brain hemorrhage in the brain. She's not listened to me, what I've been trying to say to her about be careful with social services and the local council authorities who are circulating around us to this very second with me like vultures waiting to swoop in. And due to what I've been posting on social media over the last couple of days or for years, yeah, there's all the old studies out there. Like they study facial expressions, study your eyes, which is orology, study targets in their everyday vicinity, whether at work, in public, going out socially, pubs, clubs, and studying every aspect of it all. The clinical, close-up, capturing, recording, imaging, visualising, invasive, intrusive, surveillance, monitoring, researching technologies. That includes going to the toilet, them trying to think, they know when you're going to go to the toilet, visualising your toilet streams, visualising your toilet stalls, and then passing it on to the medical researchers, social workers, healthcare, to digest, analyse, assess illegally the captured illegal criminal practicing captured data, and then they try and sweep them for the kill when they think they can detain that person. So with us, it's been since 2004 when I first noticed the targeting program. They've got a big massive database of our changes in our bodies, in our eyes, in our faces. And they've been capturing clinically 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, with a massive network linked to all different cultures, all different colours, all different religions, all different types of people from all various countries all over the world who have jumped on the bandwagon, been brainwashed, been manipulated, been corrupted to go out and do free research due to the mass implication of the World Wide Web, the internet, and all the technologies that they use for researching, and they're doing it all for free, without consent. So that's what I'm exposing. I'll put this link in. Everyone do your research, TIs, on clinical close-up research, trials, model making, and realise it's a pandemic that's taken off all over the world after the internet was rolled out worldwide, and realise due to CCTV and the equipment the researchers carry around, cable operators carry around, over operators have, from outdoor cameras to indoor see-through wall technologies to all the eavesdropping technologies, the transmitting and emitting radiation technologies, transmitting of sound to try and break people down, to try and confuse them for the mental health, for the adult care home system, and all the neuroscience technologies out there that they can use to map out your brain and realise and know what you are thinking, what you are reading, because they've mapped your brain out. So the alphabet from A to Z, each letter will spark up a different neuron, and the same with numerical numbers. For example, like I said, I was in my flat yesterday, opened the letter, didn't say nothing, and as I was reading the letter, one of the covert V2K operators was kind of reading it with me. So that's how I know, unless 99%, unless I've got pinhole cameras that can revolve round to anywhere in my flat, how can they read that letter with me? So that's what I'm exposing today. That's what many TIs, millions of TIs all over the world, a lot of them don't even realise that they're targeted or involved in these clinical close-up trials. That's what's going on. Well, they're trying to generate, destitute, and social engineer symptoms, illnesses, and disabilities affecting our bones, affecting our blood, affecting our limbs, internal organs, eyes, and brains. All the way from heads, knees, shoulders, and toes. Depending what the researchers want each person for, each target for, they will go out for as long as it carries on to give you some kind of disability if they're lining you up for, depending on how old you are, for healthcare, mental health, institutionalisation, or to put you into an elderly care home. All about getting you registered to the government so that they can hide everything and submit their clinical close-up studies, research, trials, and make a model out of you and tell lies for the rest of their lives and pass it on to future generations, because it'll always be stored in government computers and shared worldwide to universities, to colleges, and to other medical industry, NHS industry, researching industry. And they will tell lies once they've had their wicked way with the targeted individuals. And also, due to what I've experienced, because they use the cyber security violations to get the facial expressions, to get the eye looks and the tones of our voices and the way we converse off our mobiles and any interaction we do on social media. For instance, for Zoom meetings and any other video conferencing meetings that TIs do, they're getting all that data for free. While they have all their teams trolling our social media networks from Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, WhatsApps. Anything out there, due to what Edward Snowden exposed, they are now getting it all for free. Researchers are all over the world. Well, the local authorities, the police, they're training all their people in how to do cyber security crimes, how to collect evidence, training over and covert operations, training on eavesdropping operations, and training how to capture targets, surrounding them in every possible 360-degree trigonometry angle, in front, behind, left, right, all angles possible. And because they're researchers, they aim it all on your face and all over your biometrics, while they sit there radiating you, trying to misdiagnose and trying to social engineer a disability. So everyone digest it all, psychoanalyse all TIs, realise what's going on, and build up a case against your local authority, against these non-consensual researchers, and throw them in lawsuits. Everyone take care. And make sure you don't get drowned, stitched or framed, and don't do nothing stupid for them to detain you under the Mental Health Act. And one of the things I go for on slim TIs, they try and lie and make out you're not looking after yourself, you're not eating much, come out with loads of lies, bulimia, anorexia, insomnia. So that's all linked to the food disorders. Well, obviously, if they want to stitch up and make out your mental, that's what I do with a lot of TIs, saying they're deluded, or they're hearing voices, which is all the patents are out there, which can be social engineered via all the auditory Alan Frey effect, the Alan Frey auditory effect, V2K, subliminal messaging via amplifying sound around the target 24 hours a day to their heads and while they sleep, or all the neuroscience experiments, or the neuroscience Skulduggery, which is all linked to mind control. That's what we do V2K around you when you're sleeping, to try and get you to visualise what we're stating to you via the sound amplifying technology, so that they can try and make out that your brain is not resting while you sleep, and it's all over the place. Well, of course, when they're desperate, when they're evil, they can throw in other people's brain-computer interfacing visuals and make out they're yours. They can get some mass criminal-minded idiot whose brain activity, brain-computer interfacing visuals they've captured, swap it around and state it's yours. Some sex case, some rapist, some murderer, and state that the target is violent and dangerous. That's the technologies we've got now, and I says, and due to all the internet taking off, they're getting it all free worldwide. And as you can hear clicking and banging above me, because due to I am in my mother's, and due to the properties nearby, they can shove their equipment, sensory circuitry, in between the floorboards, depending on what kind of house you're living in between the floorboards of the houses next door, underneath a skirting board and shove the equipment around. And in the attics, because they're joined houses, terraced houses in the UK, they can sneak in through the attic and put all the equipment around. That's what I've got on these covert abusers in Coventry, UK, TIs. But I say various countries, various surveillance monitoring abusers, they'll have different technologies, different equipment, and different ideology of surrounding the target with all the sound amplifying technologies, all the radiating technologies, and all the surveillance monitoring, spying, capturing, illegal research technologies that we use to capture our biometrics, do a neuroscience Skulduggery, mind control, brain mapping, heterodyning, deep patterning, and let's do it 24 hours a day, because abusers of authority in your local authority are all incriminated in it, and they're trying to cover it up. They're trying to get targets institutionalised or stage a scenario hoping the target gets triggered off to have an argumentative scene or fighting scene, and it all get edited. Remember, make out the target needs to be imprisoned. And obviously, when we've got it in for you, we'll put you into mental health secure prison. So TIs, take care and be vigilant, stay ahead of the game, and like I said before, don't be stupid, don't get caught up in an entrapment scenario. Everyone out.